Hello and welcome to Cake. Easter is around the corner and I thought it would be appropriate to bake an Easter bread. For both of these bread wreaths that I have in front of me, I use a simple yeast dough recipe. The preparation is really fun and can also be done with children. Let's jump over to the ingredients for the basic dough. I'm using 500 grams of flour, that's equivalent to 3 3/4 cups, 1 teaspoon of salt, 50 grams of sugar, that's equivalent to about 3 tablespoons, 1 package of dry yeast, 1 egg, 4/5 of a cup of milk, I'm using soy milk, and in this I also have 60 grams of melted butter, that's about half a stick. This butter milk mixture is now lukewarm. Make sure that it's not hot or cold when you're using it. I begin by mixing the flour and salt together, then I add all the other ingredients into this and mix well with a spoon. Then I dust the surface with flour and knead the dough for about 5 minutes. I put the dough in a bowl, cover it with a plate, and leave it in a warm place for 1 hour. After an hour, the dough should have doubled in volume. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the dough in half and roll out each half into a long coil about 1 meter long. That's equivalent to about 36 inches or 37 inches, somewhere around there. For the first wreath that I'm doing with the colorful Easter eggs, I'm going to be using 6 colored Easter eggs. Important is that these are uncooked. Then I cover my baking tray with parchment paper and place both of the coils on this and rotate the first top, place an egg in the middle, and rotate again until I've formed a wreath and incorporated all of the eggs. I'm going to allow this bread to rise again for about 30 minutes. In this meantime, I'm going to place a bowl in the middle of it to make sure that my wreath keeps its nice round shape. I'm going to allow the dough to rest for about 30 minutes, and in the meantime, I'm going to work on the next dough. I've already prepared it and it's the exact same recipe as before, and I've already let it sit for an hour so it could rise. Now I'm going to roll the dough into a rectangle about 35 by 50 centimeters or about 12 inches by 20 inches. For the filling, I'm using a butter cinnamon poppy seed mix. This is about a little less than a half a cup of butter, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 3 teaspoons of poppy seeds. And by the way, all of the exact measurements you're going to find in the link below. I'm going to mix the ingredients with a fork, and of course my butter is at room temperature, so it's pretty easy to do at this point. Then I'm going to spread the filling onto the dough and leave about 1/2 inch on all edges. Then from the longer side, I'm going to roll up the dough into a long coil. I'm going to cut the rolled dough into 3 strands that are about equally sized. Then I'm going to braid these. Then I'm going to round my wreath and place it on parchment paper, which is laying on my baking sheet. The first wreath has already rested for about 30 minutes. I'm going to apply some egg wash on this. That's about 1 egg with 1 tablespoon of cold water. And I'm going to apply the same egg wash to the second wreath. And also I'm going to place a shallow bowl, actually this is a creme brulee kind of bowl, in the middle of this so that this wreath also keeps its shape. And by the way, this bowl is oven safe, so I can actually bake my wreath with this in the middle, making sure that it's going to keep its perfectly round shape. The first wreath is now in the oven. It's going to bake in the preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes. While the second wreath is going to rest for about 30 minutes. In the meantime, I'm also going to prepare the icing for the colorful wreath. For this, I'm using 2.5 tablespoons of milk. I'm actually using oat milk, and about 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar and a dash of vanilla extract. Now that the first wreath is out of the oven, I've allowed it to cool for a couple minutes, and now I'm applying the icing on this. Then finally, as a final touch for decoration, I'm going to distribute some sugar sprinkles. These are super colorful and perfectly matching with these colorful Easter eggs. The second wreath is also now in the oven. It's also going to bake for about 25 minutes in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's what this wreath is going to look like out of the oven. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Let me know by giving this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more delicious recipes and creative ideas. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.